Well, hello, 7K team. Here we are on another Saturday afternoon, early afternoon. Uh, and uh, First week in our new 2024 enhanced comp plan. Uh, Let me just say that I'm excited for all new people or people just really getting to build their business, even if you've been here for 7.5 years or more, or a little bit more. November would be 8 years. Uh, because this comp plan will allow this company to produce the most six-figure earners ever in the history of network marketing. And I know that for a fact. Uh, and it's because of that bronze level just takes 3 on the left and 3 on the right, and only 2 growth factor sales on the left and the right in your group. And you get paid on your volume up to $2,000. And if everyone builds the business like I teach, and, and everyone uses the success system and I teach and duplicates that, what is that? 2 years to learn, 3 to 5 years to build a big business. Network marketing is not a get rich quick scheme. Anything in life takes time to learn the skills, attitudes, and techniques, and in particular, network marketing. They're not difficult. In fact, they're very simple, except most people refuse to do them. They kind of have in their own mind the way they want to do it instead of just following instruction. Those that just follow instruction, just do, are the most successful. And it's all included in my little 7 pieces of paper. I'm not going to go over those today. But because of this new comp plan with 3 personals left, 3 personals right, over a 5-year period, building the way that I teach with the tools that the company provides and what I provide to back it up in handling objections with my tools, one can build it if you're making a sustained effort at it every day. That means you're doing that job description I talk about. You're committing at least 10 hours. I mean, at least 10 hours working the business the way I tell you to, not the way you want to. And you do that for 2 years in that base period, you'll have a base. You will have a partner on your left and a partner on your right. You will have it. You don't need an upline. You don't need anybody else. All you need is my band out and my trainings. As long as you feel you need somebody, then you're not going to be successful because you can do this. The only person you have to convince is you. If it's to be, it's up to me. Just learn that one real quick. Remember, Jim Rohn taught Richard Wayne Hansen and me the 3 things that it takes to be successful in network marketing. That's all it takes. With being at the right place at the right time, with the right company, with the right products and the right market. Oh yeah, that's a given. You can't be successful with companies going to start up, shut down, and then you become a multi-level marketing junkie, or you're doing 2 or 3 deals at one time. Yeah, you'll never succeed. You got to learn to focus, you got to learn to commit, you got to learn to do this. Well, if you do this, in that 2 years, you're going to have that partner on your left, partner on the right. Y'all will be doing the same thing. And then if it takes you that 3 to 5 years to build you 25 people on the left, 25 people on the right, ordering, you don't have to get all 25. You just need one on the left, one on the right. And even if you're one on the left, one on the right, fizzles out on you, if you got a business family pack and everybody's going to end up with one, if you don't, then you really don't understand this business. you're in total control of your check with what you bill. Because if you got 25 people on that left team, 25 people on that right team, buying that 20-point all-over saver, that's 500 points. That's a $500 check every month. You're accumulating wealth. You're not spending expenses on lotions, potions, powders, services, or whatever. You're accumulating wealth in the process, and you're going to have a real testimony after that 3 to 5 years. That testimony then will carry you on to building that six-figure income from that $500 a month, edging it up to $1,000, to a $500 every other week, to $1,000 every other week, to and 500 in between, until ultimately you build it, because you keep duplicating and helping teaching and mentoring people who are interested and who want to, with these three things that I just talked about. What are those three things? You got to have a burning desire. If you don't have a burning desire, you ain't going to make it. You have a burning desire to succeed in this. You got to have the willingness to learn, and you got to have the willingness to be coachable and teachable. Willingness to learn and work, number 2, and the willingness to be coachable and teachable. Those are only 3 things it takes. And then knowing, if it's to be, it's up to me. Now, our training for today is going to be on how to maximize your income wherever you're at in the business, and to keep optimizing the maximum income you can make with the comp plan that we have today that we're going to be building on. And one of the most important factors is going to be evening out your autosavers in your group, meaning not everybody's mostly on the 1st or the 15th. And now, how do you go about doing that? And today I'm going to be detailed about it, because we've got to start teaching each other. This is the hard part. Let me tell you, this takes work, and this is an IPA. It is an income producing activity, because if you prevent less of your flush volume that you could be earning on and push it into a week that you can earn on, then you're going to be optimizing your check. And if you duplicate this process, it's going to go throughout your entire organization. So, as you know, and I want everybody in this training to take your phone, pull up your little calendar, and let's look at the month of June. That's the month we're in. Okay. So we're in the first pay week of June, going from June 2nd to June 8th. Okay. We missed an opportunity last week to change our autosaver. That those in your group that had it on the 1st, okay, they should have ordered their autosaver on a process now on the 31st or the 30th. Better would have been the 30th. It would have processed in the week of the 26th. Now, I teach this in renewals, but this is how you intentionally change your autosaver date and stay active. You might lose a couple of days of activity, but remember, you got 34 days. So what one would have done was to turn off their autosaver on the 1st, but they know during that week of the 26th through the 1st, they're going to process now their autosaver. And they could have processed it on the 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. It doesn't matter. Because, see, after they process it, they're going to reset their autosaver to the 26th. Now, they just changed it from the 1st to the week of the 26th. Now you have to help people do this, and you have to teach, and that's an individual, one by one time. So see, this takes time, patience, and work, and then you got to intentionally be putting this time in. Now let's take the 15th, and everybody look at the 15th of June, because that's coming up. And we got to start this process now, and we got to continue this process from ad infinitum right now. If you want to, and I'm going to show you this in a minute, why, but I'm going to give you the details first. So you look at the 15th, if you have people that are on the 15th, and how do you find that? In your Internet Explorer, you look and see where they were last active. And you start with all your personals on your left and your right. Yeah, you want to do both sides because you will flip-flop. So you want to do both sides. But who do you concentrate? What side do you concentrate on first to get corrected? Your pay side, of course, because that's what you're really interested in. So work there, get it all corrected on your pay side. Then you flip and help everybody else on the other side because you're helping your team. Okay. So on the 15th of June, if they've got it set for the 15th, what we want to do is change it to what? We want to change it to the 21st, because if we want to change it to the 8th, they're going to have to order their coin early, just like we did on the 1st. They're going to have to turn it off for the 15th, and then they're going to have to order it either on the 10th, 11th, 12th. But I don't like that. I mean, now I'll do that, but we get it changed to the 8th, but it still processes that week during the week of the 15th. What I want you to do is turn off the 15th, let it slide. Don't buy the autosaver, because remember, you got 34 days of activity. So you're going to be active on the 16th, the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th. That's when you order your autosaver with a process now on the 19th of, okay. And then now every month is different. So I got to preface this. That's why you got to look at the calendar, and you got to understand the 34 days of activity before you go inactive. None of us want to go inactive. Okay. You don't want to lose your loyalty points. You don't want to lose your commission points. So you don't want to go inactive. No, I know there's a grace period to losing your points, but you don't want to go inactive, especially if you're a personal to somebody, because then you're hurting them. Okay. So what you do is you will process that like on, let's say, the 19th. You will then you will not reset your autosaver, because you got to wait till the 21st pass, and then you will reset after the 21st on the 22nd or later, but do it as soon as possible. Don't let it slip your mind. And you and the person you're working with both have that responsibility to help and remind, have you got it reset? Or don't forget to reset. Let's reset it now. And it's just a quick login, then it change processing, change or add, you add it to that date. When you're re-adding, you pick the date and you pick the 21st. Now you've moved it from the 15th to the 21st. Okay, let's look at July 1st, okay, because that's coming up. So see, you got to look ahead. And then you got to be finding who you're going to, we got to make that work list of who are those 7, 8 people you're going to work with. So you're going to be building a list, just like we build a prospect list. We're going to be building a list of how to optimize our autosaver date to maximize our commission check and minimize our commission flush. So on July 1st, it comes on a Monday. And the 30th is a Saturday. Now, Also, we remember another reason we want to get away from the first of the month, and that should be your lowest autosaver volume month, because we have the company processes renewals. So everybody didn't renew now on their own in the month of June will all get processed either on the 30th, the 30th or the 1st or the 2nd of July. The 30th of June, 1st of June. Remember, they have a 3-day window they allow themselves. Okay. And believe me, they're going to push all those renewals into that week of the 1st. So that's the week you want to have your lowest autosaver volume in, because you're going to get renewals, plus any new business that comes in. And you want to try and get paid on every bit of volume that you can. So this is important. So people have got it set on the 1st. Now you're going to have more, especially now when we start working on this. And you say, well, I'm not there. I'm not flushing volume. This is really important for you building a business, getting your people in the habit of doing these things. It's a real easy if you learn it in the beginning, and then it's not work. It's just done. So you're working on the list. They'll process their autosaver either on the 28th of June or the 29th of June, change their autosaver date to the 26th, because it's past the 26th, so they can change their autosaver date to the 26th. Okay, let's look at the next week, the week of the 8th. Notice that the 15th of July is on a Monday. These are optimum times to change that autosaver date. So on the 13th of July, if they are set on the 15th, that's when you got to have the list of everybody on the 15th that you personally sponsor or that you're working with. See, these are the easy people because you have correspondence and you're talking and you're working with them. So you want to get them to change. You want to get them to process now on the 13th of July and change their autosaver date to the 8th. Now, they can process now anytime after the 8th. And so it might even make a check for somebody, you or somebody in between you and them, or even them themselves. And that's a great time to do it. Okay. So let's look ahead on, again, the next date is to change, because we just did the 15th. Now the 15th goes to the 8th here instead of 21st, note it, because where that 15th lies is important, because to change it to the 21st, you count those days after the 15th if you don't get on 15th, and you go 16, 17, 18, 19, you're still processing that autosaver in the week of the 15th. And then you will be able to reset it to the 21st. I mean, that is a possibility, but the key is you're processing it in the week of the 15th. The way that I just explained to you, you're processing in the week of the 8th, with it's a lower autosaver week where you want to maximize check that you can get. Okay, you skip down to August and you'll see that August 1st falls on a Thursday. So if we process backwards and reset to the 26th, because that's a date, a Thursday, where the 15th and the 1st falls on, normally gives us two options that are both good. So the 1st of August is a Thursday. So we could process now on the 27th. We get away from the week of the 1st where renewals are and where all those autosavers are coming in, and we're processing it on the week of the 26th, and then we reset it to the 26th. Or if it's more helpful and then you can see this stuff, if you are looking at my trainings on optimizing your check, and that's important. Even when you're building, even when you're learning, it's important to always optimize your check. And if you duplicate this, your people will be optimizing their check. They'll be making more income quicker and faster, and they'll be flushing less commission volume. So they could turn it off on the first, not have it processed, and then they could process it. See, remember the second, the third, the fourth, they could process it either on the fourth or the fifth. They could wait until after the eighth, then it's processed in a week of the eighth. They could wait until after the eighth goes by, then reset their autosaver that it processes on the 8th of every month. So in August, we have a chance to either do the 26th or do the 8th, whichever works best for them and for where the volume goes. Okay, look at the 15th of August. It also falls on a Thursday, but to go back to the 8th is a little bit more difficult. That means they're processing their autosaver about 5 days in advance, but that's okay. It's a one-time deal. Then they're going to leave it there at the 8th. Okay. But the easy move is to move it to the 21st. As you see, they'll just turn it off and then they can process it on the 18th, 19th, or 20th and wait until after the 21st process goes by. And then bingo, they reset their autosaver for the 21st. Skip forward to September 1st. That falls on a Sunday. Great time to change that autosaver. So it processes during the week of the 26th of August. And so it can be done either on the 31st, the 30th of August, 29th, 28th, 26th, or they could just, change their process to the 26th and let it process. But if they want to kind of stretch things a little bit, they want to see what the volume is, they could do it on the 27th, 28th, 30th, it doesn't matter, and then reset their autosaver to the 26th. Notice when the autosaver date of the 1st and the 15th falls toward the beginning or the end of the weeks, what you can do changes, because see, to change that 1st of September to the 8th of September is a little difficult because you're going to go inactive. You don't have enough spread there. So you really only option to stay active, everything work right, is to go backward to the 26th in August. So I hope, you can watch this video and go over that. Since I asked you to pull the calendar up like I'm doing here, I'm reading off the calendar as I'm doing this, and this is how you would do it. And you can listen to this over and over and over until you really catch this. And if you have problems doing it and you're trying to do it and you're working with someone, don't hesitate to call someone in your upline or me. I don't mind helping you with things like this. Now, I'd prefer you working with someone in between me and you. But if there is no one, then yeah, obviously I can help you with it. As long as you're working with someone to change it, or you want to change your own, okay? I'm happy to do that, okay? So this is how to optimize. Now let me share my screen real quick, and let's go and see what I'm talking about. And let me go. I think that's where I need to go. Yeah, we'll go to our business hub. Okay, you go to your business hub, okay, and you click on points on your pay side, and now you're going to see your points are uneven, like mine are uneven. And so what you want to do is you want to get this to be your least amount. Now you see I've been unsuccessful in training my group, but I have so much volume, which y'all all know has been coming up, that made my $7,000 check every week. Okay. With new business and renewals throughout the course of the month. But, and then most of the time on the first, like last week, I had 26,000 points. Well, only 12,000 of them were autosavers. So see, I'm flushing all of that volume until I rank up. Okay. Now, the same thing, and what we want to do is get these things even. So we want to push volume from here to here or here to the 26th. On the 15th, we want to push it to the 8th or the 21st. So we want to push these volumes. Now you want to try to get what you can get paid on. So I'm going to go to another, I'm going to close this out. I'm going to go to another account. So it'll reflect more like, let's say, other people in the business. Okay. And let's look at this. So if you're a copper, this is going to be very, very important. And under the new system, to be a copper, you just have to have 2 people on your left, 2 people on your right, and you have to have 1 growth factor sale on your left and 1 growth factor sale on your right. And if you're growing, you're new, you're building, that's going to be pretty easy, 5 levels deep. Okay. That sale occurs within 5 levels. Okay. So, and because those points will be posted up to you too. So anytime, let's say you are an associate, anytime you have volume over 500, you're not getting paid on that. That's flushing. So if you've got weeks that are less than 500 and you got weeks that are more than 500, see, you want to push that into that because you don't even get loyalty points for that flush. So you want to push it into weeks where it's less. And in particular, you want to push away from the first. So if you get a $250 check, and if you enroll someone that week, then you have rollover. So this is the key, even in these out. Now, this is where we've been working on this account because this account used to have very little volume in these 3 weeks here of the 8th, 21st, and 26th. And we've been working on this account, so that's why I wanted to show you where. And this account can make that $1,000 check, and sometimes it could make a $2,000 check. Okay, and so that's what we've been doing is we've been trying to push the volume out of here. This volume at one time was over 2,000. So we moved it to the 26th and to the 8th, and we're continuing to move these. That's a problem. It takes time. Okay. So since I did, of course, talk about income, and I do want to limit the time on this so it becomes a good training tool that's not too lengthy. I want to go ahead and put our income disclosure statement up. Talk about the fact that the income that I talk about is not guaranteed. It takes work. But if you look at what I teach, and I will share that again, anything in life takes time to learn. And you want to be with a company that's going to be here. You don't want to be starting over and starting and stopping and getting in and getting out, because you'll lose your people. The one thing I want to talk about on this, because I share this a lot, is that very last sentence to remind yourself and your associates, your teammates, that the alternative to working your 7K metals leveraged income vehicle will most likely be working for someone else for the rest of your life, or at least being limited to a linear income, not guaranteed, which you can lose anytime for the long term. This is the best plan B that is available, and they're not going anywhere. They're established, they're firm. This is the company to lock your arms around, make your commitment, make your stand, and do whatever it takes to learn the skills, attitudes, and techniques, and just follow my success system. You can follow my building system. That's totally different. That's the other things, the step 1, 2, 3, the how you how you peak, all those things. That's a building system. This is a success system. This is applicable really to any network marketing company. That's why I've used it 3 times. Okay. So, again, incomes aren't guaranteed. It's not a get rich quick scheme, but these are the actual real numbers. And I encourage you to look it over and to join us, and let's start accumulating wealth, building wealth, instead of spending money in any other type of network marketing, product oriented or service oriented company, or especially with some new out of the box thing that has 98% probability of not being around in 3 years. And look at all the time you waste and all the contacts you burn because of that. Because it'd be very hard to get them interested in the next deal with you. Okay. So hope you see what I see. I love each and every one of you. I want you to succeed in 7K, and knowing that if you're really now just getting started, you've been around here, but you're ready to go to work, you're ready to make this work for you. Well, you got a comp plan that will absolutely remunerate you more than any other comp plan that I know of for the long term for you. And you can build yourself up to that bronze 6-figure income. It's pretty doggone low requirements to get there and to maintain it. And I hope you see what I see. Thank you.